Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here and actually privileged today to speak about my story with SINA, which is a life-changing story. My name is Miriam Feza. In 2015, I had to run away from my country, the Republic of Democratic of Congo, to Uganda due to political instabilities and war. With that, we started a 3-day journey to reach till Uganda, which was not really an easy one. Reaching to Uganda, yes, we reached. Life was really hard. They gave us 6 timbers so we can stamp something close to home. And at least it was peaceful than back to the country, though we could face many challenges. In that house, if it rained, we could receive the rain. So if it shine, it could shine on us. And if it's windy there outside, that's mean all the dust is with us in the house. But that wasn't the biggest challenge. The biggest one was the financial challenges. As refugees, we could receive $5.4 per month per refugee that could really barely sustain. And me and my family, we've been 16 people surviving in that amount. It reached a time, me personally, I could no longer even afford money to pay for my basic need, like buy lotion, buy pads. In the absence of the finances, I found myself vulnerable to relationship with old men in my community where I've been sexually abused and raped. This became the hardest part of my story, and it was really dark until when I met one of my friends at the English Center where I've been trying to learn English since I was coming from a French country. When I talked to, when she saw me, she told me about SINA and everything that she told me, like, this is a place where your story changed. And that's when I knew that I need to go to this place. I need to go and change my story and change the story of my community. Fortunately, in September 2016, I became a scholar at SINA. It was my first time after leaving my country to sleep in a real house, but also first time to again drink safe water and feel safe. SINA changed my life in so many ways, not only giving me this basic need, but it was the first time again to be around people who speak about hope, who speak about future, while some years ago, my language wasn't that. Everything that I could see is Europe. Maybe they could resettle the refugees to Europe, which is a chance of just, I think, 1% of the refugees. And we could all live in that uncertainty. Reaching just after the selection, I went through personal development, the confusion stage, how we call it in SINA, where you unlearn and learn new things. I went through trainings that supported me to change that limited belief that I had about my life, about my story, seeing my story as a subject of shame. I learned to overcome my comfort zone challenges and to try new things. But overall, I learned to have a purpose, to have a mission, like to see something different when it's come to my life that I didn't see. That at some moment, I saw that everything is just dark. After the confusion stage, I had to move into emerging stage where I went through design thinking, learning more into social entrepreneurship. And we could do this in teams. And fortunately, in this team grouping, I met other team of refugees who have the same story like me, who didn't go to school, who were passing through hardship before coming to SINA, who went to addiction before coming to SINA. But through the personal development, as it changed my life, it also changed their lives. And we came together and we knew SINA was the solution for the youth refugees. Because we believed if SINA has changed our lives to who we are today, then the community will get much more impact if we are even the one replicating the story. So with a team of other refugees, we took the SINA replication to Kampala, where we started in 2017. And we had youth coming to us because everyone was amazed of our new language, how we are speaking differently from the past, how we are not ashamed of our own story, but also how empowered we are. So everyone wanted to experience this. We trained the refugees with the learning that we got from SINA to change their stories, to become change makers. We supported them into personal development, but also supporting them to create their own businesses that are changing the problems within their communities. So personally, I was more involved into the mentorship since I had a background of business administration back in my country, though in Uganda, I could not exercise that since there were no room for me to exercise what I could do. So training other people, supporting them to overcome business challenges, how to get their first customers, but also even embracing the business mindset. Since as refugees, there's this challenge, we are all waiting on aid. We are waiting on support. So to embrace the new mindset of creation, it wasn't that easy, but because we passed through this, it was quite easier to support other people. So after learning for a period of close to 4 years, while working with the youth refugees at Lazima Nipate Academy that we replicated, I also started a social enterprise through the learnings. And this one, all that was at my heart was to change the situation of the women, the refugee women, already living in a community where women are not seen or due to culture. Now imagine when you're a refugee woman, things change. It's as if you can't add value to anything. And the refugee population, I think 80 to 82% are women here in Uganda. So that's how I developed a project, an enterprise called Cosmo, which is a social enterprise that promotes and advocates for refugee women's self-sustainability. And we do that through education and employment. We train and hire the refugee women to produce natural and organic skin and hair care product. And what is amazing about our beauty products, we are making them out of clay, green clay, the clay that comes from the DRC. So we blend the clay with other healthy ingredients like aloe vera, rosemary, that we later create into product that we sell to retailers, organic stores, and other beauty stores at a margin of 70% that come back again for the refugee women empowerment and trainings. I know maybe you've been wondering why beauty product. So currently there is a higher growth in the beauty industry. So it's growing in Uganda since everyone is going into the trend of beauty product that is coming from Europe, from the USA, and the Ugandan women are trying also to embrace the new trend. So our products are all organic. We don't add harsh chemicals into our production. And we also use reusable packages since in our production, we care about the environment, but also we care about the humans. So, and so far through Clay Cosmo, we've been able to train 300 refugee women. So we are training them in different skills, some in the beauty care industry, but also in personal development and professional development. But also we've been able to create direct job creation to 15 women. Some are into the farming of the organic plant like aloe vera, and some are into the production. And in the same direction, we've been able to sell over 673 products that are now affordable to the women in Kampala. They don't have to run into chemicals, but they have safe products that are healthier, not only for them, but also to the environment. So since this initiative, we've been able to giving back the hope to the refugee community, mostly the women, so that they can provide to themselves and their families while keeping dignity. They don't have to go in the same story like me. And I'm happy so far with the participation of the women into our programs, both for Clay Cosmo and for Lazima Nipate Academy, that is empowering the youth and helping them creating their own project, their own businesses that are solving problems into the refugees communities. Since coming to SINA, we just realized that now we have a different strength that no one has. Through our experience, we can change the stories. Through our experience, people can believe that a refugee is not just a subject of shame. Like before SINA, if someone called me a refugee, I could fight. I could fight because it was so painful that it could give me the trauma, the fear, but mostly uncertainty. But now I feel like I'm giving back to my community, and it's giving me a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, but mostly supporting this community that have enjoyed a lot to be sustainable. So this is my beautiful story with SINA that has changed me into, I call myself right now a great woman through SINA and a change maker. I can't wait for us to change more lives through SINA, but also through the replication that we are creating right now in Kampala and in other community. SINA has really changed our stories. I personally say this is one of my most beautiful moments since I became a refugee. I don't know if I couldn't come to SINA. I don't know how my life will be. I really don't know. And every time I speak about SINA, I feel emotional as I'm feeling right now, because for me, it's just a sense of being grateful. And I'm also happy to share this story with you. Yes, this is the end of my presentation. I'll be going to another presentation after a year with the Western Union Foundation, where I'll be presenting to the investors about Clay Cosmo. And I'm happy that I've been able to share my story here, and I welcome if there's a question, there's a comment, I'll be happy to share. Thank you, and thank you, Etienne.
Yeah,
Miriam,
thank you so much, Miriam, for sharing. Yeah, we have about 5 minutes maybe for questions, comments, appreciations, and before we move over later to Albert. So, Nick, you wanted to get started?
Yeah, Miriam, are you still located at this SINA site, or have you got your own location now offsite?
So right now, I'm staying in Uganda, where we're implementing Lazima Nipate Academy and Clay Cosmo.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been in SINA for the past 4 years. Yeah. Wow. As a scholar, then later as the facilitator, and joined the fellow team.
Thank you.
Miriam, a couple of thoughts. The rise of the beauty, the growth in the beauty industry. I can imagine that for women who have not been appreciated in their lives to be able to feel beautiful and to make beautiful things. It might be hard for some people to understand that, but that's so uplifting just to be part of something beautiful that has nothing dark about it, if you will, nothing terrible. And the transformation of the individual and the community, I can't tell you what your story has meant to me. I've been looking at so many different ways to help people here in the United States as well as abroad, and it all starts with what you experienced. You were freed from a really it's something we can't even, none of us, I think, on this call can really understand. And yet you are making other lives better. And I don't know, I just wish that every community could be a place like that, but that SINA is spotting these, seeding these all over the world is just an astounding thing. And your story made it real. I really thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Miriam, thank you. Honored to meet another Miriam. Congratulations. It's a really good story. I like how you talked about, you being responsible for making the change. And I love how 18 and team used Changemaker. I think it's such a great name. So with all of this that's happened in the last 4 years, is there something you would change? Is there anything you would change from the 4 years? Like, is there something that you've learned that you would like basically change? Like, how sometimes you have hindsight 2020, you think that I wish I knew this and so forth. Is there something that you would change in the last 4 years?
So in the last 4 years, if there is anything that I will change, is to see myself as a failure due to my status. But mostly to turn all my life around my situation, because there have been a moment where everything about me, I thought like I could just feel everyone to feel pity of me, everyone to feel the vulnerability around my life. And that is the powerful thing that SINA changed about my life, but not only me, but all the refugees around. Because before reaching there, all we knew was we are refugees, we are nothing, we are failures, and we just have to receive. But SINA taught us to do not receive, to do not knock on doors, but to create.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.